course, the holiday travel always goes a lot smoother if your vehicle is checked and ready to go. Ashley Kirkland joins us again this morning from Riverside Automotive in Marquette Township to learn what needs to be done before you hit the road. Good morning, Ashley.
Well, Vicki, there's nothing that will ruin your road trip more than car troubles, and you want to make sure that you have everything taken care of before you hit the road. Right now, I'm here at Riverside Automotive in Marquette Township, and I'm here with Gary Jankowski and Steve Basil. They're going to help us out this morning. Gary, I'm sorry. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
My pleasure.
Now, we have this lovely vehicle here. You guys are going to tell us what needs to be done. Starting with the fluids, what fluids do you need to make sure are plentiful in your vehicle?
Well, actually, all your fluids need to be full before you take a trip. So basically what we want to do is just kind of show you a little bit how to check them. What we have here is the oil, which on most vehicles is yellow, the dipstick end. Some aren't, so you have to check your owner's manual to make sure. But you want to make sure you check it when the engine's off to get the actual level. Then you have basically the rest of the things here. We have brake fluid, power steering, washer fluid have reservoirs, and most of them will have a gauge on the side which you can actually tell where the level's at. One of the most main things on a trip is your washer fluid also too, because you want to make sure your windshield stays nice and clean. So.
And you're also going to want to take a look at those belts. Talk to us about where they're located and what you need to look for.
Okay, most vehicles have a serpentine belt, or all of them. What you want to look for on your belt is excessive cracking. So Steve's going to kind of show you here where to look at on there, but you just want to make sure that it's not cracking excessively. And you want to make sure that everything looks good. It's not fraying on the edges. Everything looks pretty clean. So.
Okay. And then also, now if you need to change out a battery, that's something you're going to want to do well ahead of time. But how can you check to see if your battery may be dying?
Well, pretty much it can tell you up front where when you go to start the car in the morning and it's slower than normal, the crank time's a little bit longer, that'll be a telltale sign. Otherwise, your lights might be a little dimmer than normal, but mostly you can do is you can look at the battery and look at both terminals there, and you want to see if there's any corrosion built up, excessive corrosion. You want to stay away from that. Obviously, keep them clean, nice and clean, make good contact for good start. So, usually on a battery, it's 5 years is the warranty, or not the warranty, but the maintenance period on a battery.
Okay. Now Steve's going to close the hood, because one thing that people really need to be sure is working is the windshield wipers. Whether people are driving downstate or at Midwest, they're going to probably be using these. How do you switch them out if you need to?
Well, Steve can show you here. Most of them will come with just a little tab underneath. You can just press the tab and pull them off, or obviously putting them back on. You just make sure that tab is in good shape. Put it back on and it snaps into place and it's good to go. You want to check the edges on them always. As far as the rubber itself, you want to make sure there's no tears on the ends, any cracks, any gouges or anything like that, which you can tell when the wiper goes back and forth. You'll see streaks being left on the glass. That's a no-no. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much, Gary. This was really helpful. We're going to be back a little bit later. We're going to learn how to change a flat tire, because I don't know how to do that, Vicki, and I'm sure a lot of people are out there in my position. So we want to make sure that you guys are having a safe holiday travel season. We'll be back with that. Ashley Kirkland reporting live in Marquette Township, TV6 News.
Feats of strength. That was Festivus yesterday, Ashley.
We're back here at Riverside Automotive with the guys here. They're going to actually teach me how to change a tire. And right now I'm back here with Gary Jankowski. Gary, so what's the first step when changing a tire here?
Well, actually, you need to know, obviously, where the spare tire is located at. So Steve's going to be so kind to go back. There's a tray that has to come out in the rear of this vehicle. Remove the tray and then locate the spare tire.
Is that usually where it is?
Yes, ma'am. Usually always in the rear of the vehicle.
Now, when we say spare tire, it's not a real tire. It's actually what they call a donut?
Yes, ma'am. It's a smaller side. It's basically not a normal size tire, just for the fact it's only good for getting the other tire repaired and getting it back on the car.
So about how many miles are you predicting?
Roughly about 50 miles is what they recommend.
Okay, so you want to make sure you locate it, and it's not going to be something you can drive on long distance. Now, Steve is getting that tire out for us, and just to know, we are using their machines here that they have, but normally what kinds of things are you going to have to lift the car and to get the bolts off?
Well, you have your tray in the back that has located where the jack's at, your wrench for removing the lug nuts, and anything else that you might need, as Steve will show you here. And again, obviously, you want to be looking at your owner's manual for any questions, doubts, or any concerns that you might have before you do it, because it can get dangerous.
Okay. So we're going to switch places here because Steve is going to work with me to actually change the tire. This was his bright idea, but every now and then a girl's got to roll up her sleeves.
Atta girl.
All right. So you can walk us through this.
Okay, Steve's going to show you with the gun. First of all, we have to remove the lug nuts. There we go. Next, obviously remove the tire. And then next is going to be to mount the spare tire back on the vehicle.
Wrong way.
There we go. Line everything up on the lugs. There you go. This is your wrench. Yes, flip your switch. There you go. Boy, you look like a pro doing this.
I'll let Steve finish up the dirty work there, but okay, so and that takes about how many minutes to do without the professional tools?
Without, you're probably still looking at a good 15 or 20 minutes to change a tire on the safe side.
And that's going to be a quick delay in your trip, but it will be helpful to have one of those. Now, what if you don't have a spare tire handy? I mean, obviously you're in a world of trouble.
If you don't have a spare tire handy, then you are in a world of trouble. Then you're going to have to contact a wrecker or a service to come get you and help you out.
Yeah. And you guys are open today, special holiday hours, to help people out before they head on the road. Talk to us about your hours and where you're located.
Our hours today is going to be 7:30 to noon. We're located right off of Highway 41 West, right next to Holiday Inn.
All right, and these great guys will help you out. Everyone, make sure to be safe this holiday season and stick around for more of your TV6 Morning News.